available in the William H. Bell Athletic Center. And sign up for Bombs Away for Bombay. Every time a Tiger player hits a home run, $50 from the Bombay Bicycle Club. A popular box is located next to the scoring table. One ticket for participation. Once today, it must be impressive to win. Enjoy the game. Starting lineup for the Trinity University Tigers. Leading off at second base, number 19, the junior from Temecula, California, Logan Morris. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 2, a senior from Golden, Colorado, Parker Cormack. Batting third in left field, number 1.
In the last decade, more than 600 migrants have lost their lives in Brooks County due to dehydration and exposure to the elements.
As engineering students at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, our team was able to apply the skills we learned to help find the best solutions to this problem.
Working with the South Texas Human Rights Center,
I couldn't believe that was his real name.
That helps migrants find clean water.
Seeing the immediate impact of our work in the field has been an incredible experience.
Follow
the path that empowers you to be your best self. Surround yourself with people who embrace your quirks, who don't settle, who seek a life without regret, who know how to win.
I know. I don't like him anyway. I'm just teasing.
Be part of an
Nah, I lost a lot of respect for him when I heard he was from Aberdeen, but at least he decided to leave.
is all about. Be brave enough to have a fulfilled life. Trinity University. Discover, grow.
Food insecurity or the inability to get food is a widespread and misunderstood problem.
At Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, Autumn and I are part of a research team in the Food Matters Lab.
Being able to connect with the community and affect policy as an undergraduate.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along here live. You are watching the Tiger Network as we get set for what is sadly a little bit of a bittersweet day. Our final broadcast of the regular season on the network. This is Trinity Baseball hosting the visiting McMurry University. And we are just about set to go here. You could see Tiger pitcher James Nittoli warming up on the mound, and we'll give you a little bit of insight into the teams in just a couple of minutes here. My name is Callum Squires. Alongside me this afternoon, Josh Mojigemba. Glad to have you with us as ever, Josh. And the Tigers now having strung together 4 straight wins, 3 against Dallas over the weekend, and then a big cross-organization matchup yesterday against Our Lady of the Lake, now having won 4 straight following those surprising losses, shall we say, last weekend. With Natoli on the mound, what can we expect from the Tigers here today?
Well, I think, San Antonio native James Natoli, big left-hander, has struggled the last couple of outings, but was dynamite to start the season. I think what we'll start to see, as we've seen with many of the Tiger players, is getting back on track, getting back on form. Started off the season with a sub .70 ERA. That's risen to 209 currently, but I have a feeling that we'll see some quality pitching from Natoli today. Otherwise, it'll be a quick hook, in my opinion, and we'll be seeing the bullpen quite early. And mentioned yesterday, we beat Our Lady of the Lake, the undisputed San Antonio champions.
Yes.
Sorry to UTSA and Incarnate Word, St. Mary's. They did not enter the tournament. Have to enter the tournament to be the kings of San Antonio. Trinity is. And now we are looking to be the kings of Texas here for the day as we take on McMurray coming in from Abilene, the Warhawks, as they step in with Tyler Jenkins. And good look at Jenkins early on.
Yeah, Jenkins is a senior in this team, 1-3 record and a 6.97 ERA. McMurray coming into this 11-23 on the season. Have played some other SCAC teams, including splitting a series, a 2-1 victory over Shiner in a series, and also facing off against Southwestern, though they lost that series 2-1. And they are being led off today by Mike Gonzalez, the right fielder, who is a sophomore and has a 2-2 count right now. Our scorebug will flicker into action as soon as the first out, or as soon as the first bat has finished, our scorebug will all of a sudden decide to start working. So we will await that and get going from there. Natoli with a full count now, and that's high, and a walk to start things off, which is not what you wanted if you were James Natoli there, Josh.
Yeah, and we saw this yesterday from Tiger pitching. Mark Tyndall had a little bit of trouble early finding the strike zone, but he settled in nicely. So hopeful for Natoli here as he faces his second batter. As we said, you may have walked your first batter, maybe looking at a little bit of trouble, but you're one pitch away from a ground ball double play. And we'll see what Natoli has up next against Jordan Speck, the second baseman. Speck
hitting .287 for the season. He has 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs to his name. So Speck can be someone dangerous and has a base runner in the form of Gonzalez. That one is fouled back, and a quick 0-2 count in favor of Natoli here. Natoli himself, as you said, Josh, had a very, very good start to the season. He has a 5-1 record and a 2.03 ERA, though he did have that sub-1 ERA for quite a while earlier in the year.
Yeah, and left-handed pitching, I think, is an absolute necessity here in Division III. And we've been very fortunate over the last few years to have some pretty strong lefties, whether they be starters or kids coming in out of the pen. And Natoli, a transfer from the University of Texas 2 years ago, looked sharp last year at times. Struggled with command off and on, but I think has a lot of the makeup to be a really dominating left-handed pitcher here for Trinity. And you mentioned that sub ERA under 1 for the longest time. He hasn't really been rocked, but he's given up a couple of runs here, a couple of runs there last few outings, and those type of things will take a toll on you, but you still look at it, it's a 2.09 ERA, and there are probably a lot of guys around the country who would love to have that.
Indeed so. A 1-2 count now to Speck. That one's fouled off again to stay alive. Glad to have you with us here today on the Tiger Network, wherever you are around the world. Shortly we will get into giving you guys a chance to interact with us here today. We will try and, for the last broadcast of the season, we'd love to hear your opinions, questions, feedback, everything in between on our broadcast, as that one goes down foul down the right field line, as Jake Martin was making steps towards it, but didn't need to chase it in the end. But we are...
No, I'd like to call today viewer appreciation.
Yeah, viewer appreciation day on the Tiger Network.
Let everybody get there.
And one lucky viewer will get the chance to donate a significant amount of money to us to help build a press box. So keep your ears peeled for that. We'd love to welcome you into the Tiger family officially. And Nitoli continuing here, having just checked Gonzalez at first again.
Work to get the audio issues corrected for you.
And a strikeout for Nitoli as Speck goes down swinging.
Batting third, left fielder number 16, Matt Chalk.
Nice look at the breaking ball there from Nitoli, and paint that upper outside corner. Not much Speck could do with that, even if he got a piece of it.
And this brings up Matthew Chalk, the junior left fielder. Chalk is from Katy, Texas. And that one's going to escape the catcher Goodrich and will allow the runner Gonzalez to steal to second. So 1-0 count here to Chalk, and a very early mound visit from Coach Smith, as we, with one out here in the top of the first, have a discussion between himself and Nitoli. Is this part of the routine, Josh, for Coach Smith, with an early chat here, try and calm his guy down?
You know, normally it hasn't been, but I almost feel that lately this is becoming routine. We've seen Coach Smith out there, I think, in the last 4 days now, going out early to just having an early conversation. You know, it's one of those things where you spend 45 minutes to an hour and a half warming up, and then you finally get in there for some live action. If you can't hit the strike zone early, you know, you start to get a little bit rattled. You know, Tiger pitching so far this year has been pretty good. You know, not at the elite level that we've seen some of the staff in past years, but also I think very, very capable of doing fantastic things as we go forward the rest of the season. And so I think it's just a matter of just having that confidence to do what they do. And I think if we get a guy, especially like Nitoli, going out there pitching with confidence, this could be a very quick game. And he could set the Warhawks down pretty easily. On the flip side of it, if he lacks that confidence, it's a good chance for McMurry to maybe steal a win against the still #1 ranked team in the country, as the polls came out this morning. And I know there will be some from Fastbat expecting the apology, as you know, I had mentioned that it looked like Trinity might be out of that top spot, and I love to admit when I'm wrong. And this is a good time for that, as we kept that top spot.
Clearly the voters saw the light and kept Trinity as the #1 team in the country here in Division 3. That one fouled back by Chalk, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, but I've always said, I'd much rather be #1 ranked at the end of May, early June,
yeah,
than at any point during the season. And so it is nice to still be highly thought of.
Wisniewski trots away from Gonzalez, and Nitoli lets that one go, and it's fouled again. Chalk really battling here against Nitoli early on. And on screen right now, you can see our Twitter handle at TrinityUTigers. Feel free to tweet us. You can hashtag Tiger Network, and any questions or interesting tidbits of information you want us to know, feel free to get in touch.
And fans from both teams.
Yes, please, McMurry fans. This is open to you guys as well. We'd love to hear from you.
General fans of Division III baseball.
Yeah, anyone from around the country.
Have to be if you're not a Trinity or McMurry fan tuning in for this one.
Indeed.
5 o'clock. If you're on the West Coast and you're just taking 2 hours off of work early, then hey,
massive respect if you're clocking out at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Good for you guys. Club going up and all that. 2-2 here. Natoli gets a swing, and that is going to be out at first. So 2 away here, top of the first. Gonzalez still at second, and that'll bring up Chris Baker, the catcher.
If you prefer not to be on Twitter, also have a way to contact us here, as you can reach out to us via text. We prefer no phone calls. It'd be pretty difficult to set that call on the air.
Phone calls will not be answered, but
the text will be
text will be acknowledged and responded to. Please leave a please put your name in so we can give you some acknowledgement. Yeah. We'd love to have some interaction with you here. And what is a very nice afternoon in San Antonio.
At the very least,
cloudy
location.
Skies. Yeah. Tell us where you're from as well.
Tuning in from.
The Tiger Network is a global phenomenon, as we found out over the weekend, with tweets and messages coming in from Australia and the United Kingdom and places as far-flung as Canada.
Really, if we get to Australia, that's
we're doing all right.
Pretty much directly on the other side of the world from us right now. So I think we've come full circle, making our way down to the southern hemisphere. That's Holy's 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball at the knees. And Baker now 1-2, 2 out. Baker hitting .320, 15 runs scored. 32 for 100 coming in, so 101st at bat possibly. Skies that one.
Pop over to first base area, and Michael Davis is going to let it drop. It's going to go foul, and Coach Scannell is not happy with that one. There's a little bit of communication conflict between Davis and Morrison.
Yeah, and those are the things that I think we've talked about the last 4 days. When you're, Tigers have taken 4 games in 3 days basically, but
not been clean necessarily.
Have not necessarily been clean, and as you look towards the end of the season, the playoffs essentially began after tonight.
Yeah.
There's a 3-game series at Centenary to decide the seeding for the SCAC championship. Winner takes 1-2 seeding. Davis might have another chance to redeem himself, but that one's going to carry just a little bit more and be out of play. So the Centenary series, winner takes all for the top seed. Then you get into the SCAC championship, and from there, if you're fortunate enough to post up some solid results, potentially a regional headed your way. So essentially every game from here on out is playoff type atmosphere. And so I think at this point you want to be clicking on all cylinders, and when you let a miscommunication occur and waste an out, particularly if Baker gets a hold of a pitch here, McMurray could be up 1-0 when the inning should be over.
That one is hit hard to left and gone. Rafe Chomet tracking it over there, but isn't going to get anywhere near it. And Chris Baker gets a 2-run homer to put McMurray on the board here early. 2-0 over the Tigers.
Yeah, and we'll see if the official scoring changes in any way on that play from Davis and Morrison heading over. Sometimes you can give those foul balls an error situation depending, but as it stands now, 2 earned runs on the home run from Chris Baker, his 3rd of the season, RBIs 25 and 26, and Trinity now. The entire Dallas series.
Playing from behind.
Played from behind.
So on the one hand, they won't be particularly put off by it, as it's been something that's been semi-common throughout this season. But they will be a little bit frustrated to find themselves down early here. And Natoli will be definitely frustrated that that foul ball dropped fair and has cost them 2 runs, and it's going to cost them another hit as Nick Hamill, the first-year first baseman, is going to get on as well, and that's a pair of quick hits here against Natoli, who's going to just need to settle himself down with only 2 outs, needing 1 more to finish the inning, and this will bring up the DH number 32, Blaine McRae, who is an early contender for the all-name team today. For those of you who aren't aware, visiting McMurry fans, we hand out an award here on the Tiger Network for every visiting team. The best name on the opposition is enshrined in our all-name team, as yesterday's lucky winner for Our Lady of the Lake, Enrique Ruiz III, or Ricky Ruiz, as Joe Shotland thought it was good to call him. And so, yeah, Blaine McRae, nice name, potential front-runner for that award. We will have a chat about that probably midway through the game and decide who we're going to honor with that prestigious award.
And McMurray coming in with a first, and it may just because we've overlooked it in the past, but assistant coach Boardman Adams.
Assistant coach name team? That's good.
That is absolutely
good.
Stellar. So I'll keep you apprised of that as we go along.
2-1 count, swing and a miss there from McRae, and that'll be a 2-2 count here for Natoli. Needs 1 more strike, and he'd be out the inning, but McMurray have taken the early lead here. That one is just outside. On the season, McRae hitting .310 with 5 doubles and 1 home run. As some of Trinity volleyball's finest enters the arena. Natoli checks over to first, and Hamill is held there.
Yeah, McMurray now 26 home runs on the season after the 2-run shot from Baker, and right behind Trinity there. Trinity's got 30 on the season.
Ooh.
That one's launched, but well foul.
There's a very nice contact and just pulled foul. But Natoli needing to get out of this one here. McRae saw that one all the way. Full count, 3-2. And that one is going to pop up. Wisniewski calling people off. He'll be underneath it, but Morrison calls him off. And the Tigers do get out of it. Runner is stranded on, but after the top of the first, McMurry have clearly come to play. And it is Trinity 0, McMurry 2, as we head to the bottom of the first on the Tiger Network. Welcome back here, guys. We are in the bottom of the first, and the Tigers being led off, as usual, by Logan Morrison, as you can see the lineup here on your screen right now. The pitcher for McMurry today is Tyler Jenkins. As we said, 1-3 record, 6.97 ERA. And sporting number 11 on his back, as you can see from our lovely center field cam here. Morrison settling in and quickly has a 2-0 lead. That one, though, in for a strike. Fouled back, and the count will level at 2.
So Morrison on the year, clocking in at 314. Those of you who've followed lately will attest to the fact that he's the best hitting Logan Morrison in baseball. And that one breaks inside and the count runs full. Morrison, 314 on the season, 140 at-bats, 44 hits, also has 44 runs. And that's due in large part to the fact that he's reached base 31 times via the walk.
He's hit that one hard, and it's going to drop in center left, and Logan Morrison continues to be, what is it, the best hitting Logan Morrison in all of baseball. And Logan Morrison with a lead-off stand-up double gets the Tigers in business here early.
Yeah, you get a good look at it here. 3-2 pitch, and try to sneak the fastball by him, and Morrison all over the top of it. Fantastic job there from Chris on the camera angle. Nice job from Taylor with the replay. Tiger Network student-run production. You can catch us on live.trinity.edu, as many of you probably are right now. If you happen to be sitting on your couch at the house, if you have a smart TV or a connected app, you can catch us on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or on Roku. Go ahead and search for Trinity University. You should be able to find our app, and you can watch this on your big screen. Many ways to watch, many ways to be involved. Tiger Network proudly being one of the important parts of the Trinity student-athlete experience here. Some very nice words were written about us a few weeks ago in the Trinitonian here, the school newspaper. You can catch that online at trinitonian.com as well. And Parker Cormack in the DH spot today is going to hit that one straight to the shortstop, Molina. And he will be out at first, with Morrison making an alert play to get back to second and not be out on a double play. Yeah, and unfortunate there for Cormack. He had a shot to maybe raise his average over 300. He's sitting at 296. But bring up Rafe Shamet.
Yeah.
Batting 390. He flirted 400 after the Dallas series. Was hitting 401 going into Sunday. And a little bit of a slump there for Rafe the last 2 days.
A slump by his standards.
Slump by his standards. He still had
a massive double yesterday, yeah.
Off the wall that would have been a home run if he hit it to just about any other part of the park, but got caught up in the elevated wall in left field yesterday, and not to be. Jake Martin did hit a home run, so that was fantastic.
Bombs away for Bombay winner Josh Mojigambo yesterday.
I think that was a
well-timed. Yeah, nice way to end the season potentially. Chomet lets that one go past, and that'll level the count at 1.
And you don't have to win bombs away to enjoy a good lunch at Bays.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And we were asked yesterday, we had a text in yesterday about an interesting, just to give some interesting tidbits about the Trinity players. And I can tell you today that Rafe Chomet is a quarter Scottish, which is
probably makes him your favorite player now.
It does, yes. You know, got to stick with my fellow Brits and or quarter Brits as Chomet fouls that one off over towards the Trinity dugout, but it's going to go well foul and maybe even land on the roof of the Aramark food truck over there to our left side. Jenkins will continue. 1 out here. Morrison on second. And again, please feel free to tweet or text us any messages, questions, just anything to help you enjoy the game even more than you already would with us here on the Tiger Network. Count now 2-2. Chomet trying to find the pitch he wants. Baker, the catcher, jumps up, having given the signal. Chomet swings through that one. It's going to go into shallow left center and drop fair. So Chomet starts his day off with a nice single. And he's 1 for 1. The Tigers have runners on the corner. And 1 out with Michael Davis back in the lineup today. He's up now.
Yeah, Davis on the season, just a touch under 300. He's 38 for 127, and I'll save you the mental math. That's 299, and so base hit would put him over the 300 mark once again. 4 home runs on the season, a triple, and 10 doubles for Davis, who I'm sure is seizing the opportunity here to make up for the unplayed ball that would have gotten the Tigers out of the inning in the top of the first, then went on to allow Baker to hit the 2-run shot to give McMurray this 2-0 lead. And he can totally redeem himself here with a well-placed hit.
That one goes right back past the pitcher, and we will have a Tiger run. Davis gets it down the middle, and Logan Morrison scores, and the Tigers are on the board. 2-1 in favor of McMurray.
And Jenkins, I think, fortunate that this one didn't do more injury as it hit off his lower back. That probably helped Davis reach first there, as that one then deflected into just beyond the reach of Speck. And it was a great diving attempt there from Speck to try to keep that in the infield. Don't know if he would have been able to have a play on Chomet at second, but
no, I don't think so.
RBI single nonetheless for Mike Davis, who's now up over 300. And brings up John Tucker, SCAC, Offensive Hitter of the Week after the series against Dallas.
Lets that one go past, but it's strike 1 from Jenkins. Yeah, Tucker's had a very, very nice season so far. And as we say hello to the watching Chomet family, I appreciate the shout out on Twitter. Good to have you with us as ever. Jenkins lets that one go, and Tucker pulls back. No swing offered, leveling the count at 1 apiece.
For the Tigers, that run there from Morrison, the 31st in the first inning on the season. And also their 322nd of the year. And Tigers get stronger as the game goes on until you get to the 8th and the 9th innings, but that's largely because we've had quite a few games end in 7, so they haven't had the opportunities to continue to add runs. And they go on to score 35 in the second, 31 in the third, 51 in the fourth, 38 in the fifth, 52 in the sixth, 39 in the seventh before 28 and 14, and then 3 in extra innings. So Tigers offense, second time around through the order, gets a little bit better. Third time around through the order, that's when the Tiger offense really starts to get their legs under them, and Tucker fouls that one off the plate. And had runners going. Would have been a well-done hit and run, but not able to quite clear that one was Tucker. Tucker hitting .331. He's 46 for 139, has team-leading 13 doubles with 2 triples, yet to hit a homer. He's really the only everyday starter for the Tigers who hasn't gone yard this year, but he has 30 RBI.
Some typical incomprehensible babble from the Tiger dugout, but Tucker strikes out swinging at that one that was a bit up and away. And that's a first K of the day for Tyler Jenkins, and brings up Mr. Home Run, Jake Martin.
And Martin, we talked about it starting on Sunday. We really saw good swings from him. He wasn't getting necessarily base hits, but he was doing a great job keeping himself short and sweet, and he started to really hit the ball hard. Got himself a nice double off the wall on Sunday, and then yesterday was able to go opposite field and clear the fence out and right for a 3-run homer.
First couple of texts coming in for the day. Josh, we have a text here that says, ask Josh how much he loves walk-offs against the Astros.
Where's that one from?
It's from a Sailor Takes.
The defending champion Astros. And the one season removed defending champion Tigers. It's been a pretty good few years of baseball for me. So actually started liking the Astros again once I went back to the hat that they wore when I was growing up. the orange star with the H in it. It's a beautiful, beautiful look. Very classic.
That one is in, but it's ball 2. And good evening to Grandma Natoli watching in Orlando, Florida. Glad to have you with us. Hoping we'll see some more solid pitching from your grandson as we move forward in today's game. That one's high from Jenkins, and Martin now has a 3-1 count. 2 outs here, runners at first and second, so very possible chance for Jenkins to get out of the bottom of the first here with no further damage and McMurray's lead still intact. But if they walk Martin, the bases will be loaded, and Michael Goodrich is on deck. And good hit on that, but a nice grab just as about to hit the turf, and Garza reached down and picked it up. And that will be Martin flying out into shallow center field. And we will head to the top of the first. Both teams have scored. McMurray with the lead, 2-1 over the Tigers. And as I said, back with the top of the second very shortly on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Devin Molina up now for the visiting Warhawks. Natoli still on the mound. That one is low and a bit close to his body.
And Molina hitting .323. It's just his 12th game on the season, his 6th start, and now 10 for 31. And skies that one into shallow center, and Frampton comes in, makes it 10 for 32 on the year. And there's one down here in the top of the second.
Frampton looked like he might be panicked there for just a second and really took off, and then I think realized that it was hanging in the air a little bit longer than he first anticipated and was able to slow down and adjust his positioning to get that out. So Molina goes quickly, and this brings up Stokes. He's going to foul that one off onto the roof of the Bell Center. Peyton Stokes, a sophomore from Abilene, Texas, where McMurray are located.
Stokes hitting .264. This is his 34th game, started 33 of them. 32 of 121. 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, 20 RBI on the season.
This is the first game between the Warhawks and the Tigers since the Trinity National Championship winning season a couple years ago. And this is going to be a throw down to first for Goodrich, and Davis is there to take the second out. Natoli moving quicker in the top of the second here. But But yeah, it was April 5th, 2016, the last time Trinity and McMurry played. Trinity were ranked #1 in the nation at that time as well and took a 7-0 victory over McMurray. Mike Walker was on the mound that day, and the hitting for the Tigers was highlighted with doubles from Nick Jewett and Jeremy Wolf and a home run from Colin Sirkowski. Times have changed since then.
That is special there.
Yeah.
Get the homer from Colin.
It's a very nice little tidbit of Trinity baseball history there in that championship season. That one is straight down the first base line, and Davis with a nice grab. And just like that, double time speed. The Tigers get the 3 outs very quickly. McMurray still lead 2-1. Tigers coming back up to hit. Bottom of the second immediately. Welcome back, guys. A pretty quick changeover after a pretty quick top of the second. And up now, Michael Goodrich up now for the Tigers, the catcher today. Goodrich and Cormack have pretty much been splitting those duties throughout the season. Goodrich wearing number 22 on his back.
Goodrich batting .330 on the season.
Very, very solid.
9 doubles, a triple, and a team leading 6 home runs. Take strike 1. As Tyler Jenkins got himself out of a bit of a jam there in the first inning, only allowing the 1 run. Trinity could have made that much worse, but unable to do so.
Goodrich puts a lovely swing on that one that flew down the right field line, but clearly foul by a little way in the end. That one is now fouled down the left field line, just. Goodrich puts another very nice swing on it. Count now 0-2. Tigers had 3 hits in the bottom of the first, but didn't manage to get level or take the lead after that top of the first for the Warhawks. That's going to go to the third baseman, Stokes, and he is just going to get the throw over there in time to Hamill. Very nice play from Stokes, and Goodrich will be out at first.
Batting 8th, center fielder, number 34, Blake Frampton.
So that brings up Frampton, and those of you sitting back in Abilene might think that this name sounds familiar. Blake Frampton from Wiley, up there in Abilene. And the senior stepping in right now for Trinity. They team second best, .373 average, 5 doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, 23 RBI. And the Tiger center fielder looks at ball 1.
Now strike 1 as Jenkins fires back. That one is right into the glove, but it will be a ball. 2-1 count now as Frampton looks to try and create something offensively for the Tigers. He's going to put that one just foul. Jammed it a little bit.
scores from around Division 3 here on the D3Baseball.com scoreboard. Top 25 action. Southern Maine, ranked 23rd in the country. At home, defeating UMass Boston, who's number 5 in the country, 14-6 today. This count runs full now to Frampton.
We do have a fun fact that has been texted into us. Frampton and Stokes, the third baseman for McMurry, were teammates who played on the same high school team at Wiley in Abilene. And Stokes will be happy with that one as Frampton is out, but just a nice little tidbit of knowledge that there are two competitors going against each other who know each other very well from high school.
Shortstop number 32, Jack Wisniewski.
And as James Hill's slightly obnoxiously loud microphone announces for you, Jack Wisniewski up now for the Tigers. Wisniewski, a bit of a revelation in the shortstop position in lieu of the injured Zachary Oretsky, who has been such a star for the Tigers, not just this season but last as well, and even just a little bit in that national championship winning campaign in relief of Connor Moore that year. Anyway, Wisniewski
was hitting 440.
Well, yeah, he was hitting near 500 in his at-bats over the weekend, and now continuing to be stellar so far in his freshman season here.
Gets a good swing into that one. It's going to back up Garza, who now settles in underneath it. And for the second time today, Garza puts out the Tiger hitter to end the inning. And that's 2-1 McMurray after 2. So we'll be back at the top of the third here in just a moment on the Tiger Network.
Up next for McMurray, right fielder Mike Gonzalez.
Gonzalez walked to lead off the game. Later came around and scored on the Baker home run.
Natoli, having faced everyone in the lineup once now, with a pitch count of 44. Big swing on that one and gets nothing of it, does Gonzalez. Natoli has 3 strikeouts already and just gave up that 1 walk to Gonzalez. And another big swing, which will move the count to 1-2. That one is going to be a hit, though. And Gonzalez will be 1 for 1 today. That one drops over the head of second base. And McMurray have another base runner here.
Number 2 slot, second baseman, number 10, Jordan Speck.
Speck, the second baseman, will be up now. He struck out in his first at-bat today.
Speck hitting .287 on the year.
Natoli checks over at first and then lets this first pitch go. An attempted bunt that goes significantly foul.
It's a nice idea there from Speck. Got the late break on pulling the bunch around and might have had a chance to push it down the first baseline for an infield single. But now that they've given that away, Natoli's going to go over and try to hold Gonzalez a little bit closer at first.
That one's high. Count will be 1-1 to Speck.
You know, interesting that with Tyler Jenkins on the mound, that the Warhawks have a designated hitter in play today, as Jenkins leads the team with 9 home runs, hitting .290. And get you a pitcher who can do both, huh? But not able to do so today, as he's
remarkable.
Not in the lineup.
Oh, what a catch that is. What a catch that is by Mike Davis.
And just absolutely unlucky for McMurray, because Speck's able to get that one past. That's possibly a run-scoring double for McMurray, as the runner was already off and going. Gonzalez was 3 steps from first when Davis caught that.
So a double play as Speck lines out to Davis at first. What a snag that was. And instantly, Natoli will feel a little bit more relaxed here as he throws his next pitch to Matthew Chalk and gets him to swing and miss on that.
Going fouled back. Other top 10 scores around the country in Division III baseball is it's great to see the D3Baseball.com scoreboard and not see postponed, canceled, or anything of the like next to the games, as it looks like the Midwest and the Northeast are getting their games in. Concordia, Chicago, all over Lakeland in the first game of their doubleheader, 16-1.
Hey, let's talk about Milwaukee Engineering.
And then we'll get to that. Concordia, Chicago also up 2-1 in the 6th.
And Chalk will strike out. We will head to the bottom of the 3rd as Natoli continues to walk nicely. He has 4 Ks through 3 for him. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Morrison, Cormack, and Shomet due up for the Tigers. And we'll keep you updated with the D3 Baseball scores in just a couple of minutes on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Nice watch. Logan Morrison up now. He's 1 for 1 today after that lead-off double he had into left center.
That was an absolute shot from Morrison.
Great contact.
Oh, a 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball comes inside.
And that's going to hit him.
So,
looked like pretty slow moving curveball, but it strikes Morrison on the arm, I think, here.
Yeah, might have got him on that arm guard on the elbow.
Yep. Yeah. Even ricocheted and hit the catcher.
Hitters will tell you that if you're going to hit them, they do appreciate being hit by the breaking ball as opposed to the fastball up around the ear.
And Parker Cormack, who ground out to Molina, the shortstop, earlier on. He will now, with a runner at first and no outs, step into the box. He did have a quick word with Coach Scannell before he stepped in, so wonder if Scannell's given him some specific instructions here.
Parker Cormack's due for a double at some point pretty soon here.
Well, he squares round to bunt and then pulls back and thinks better of it. Ball 1.
feels like every time Cormac steps into the plate, gets a good double. Got 10 on the year. That's tied for second on the team. Morrison goes, and the swing from Cormac might have done just enough to distract the throw from Baker, and Baker's throw came in a little to the left of the bag, and that's going to allow Morrison to reach safely on the stolen base. So Morrison now 18 of 21 stolen bases. I don't think that number's right. He was 18 of 20 yesterday. I feel like that's 19 for 21. I'll have to confirm with the math department to see what's going on there. So that one's in the dirt, and a great job by Baker to stay in front of it. Morrison retreats back to second. And Cormac now with a 2-1 count. Wouldn't be surprised to still see maybe another bunt attempt here. He squared around early. Now that your runner's on second, if you can get a good bunt down, you've got a runner 90 feet away from tying the game here.
As Cormac with this 2-1 count. Oh, Morrison thinks about taking off and is now going to be in trouble here.
And
he's going to be out with the tag.
So base running miscues strike the Tigers once again.
A tough break there for Logan Morrison, having stolen second, is now picked off. And there's one away here in the bottom of the third. A good break there for McMurray, trying to hold on to this 2-1 lead. That one is hammered by Cormac into right field, but down there is Gonzalez. And despite the sun definitely being in his eyes, makes a nice play there to catch that second out. And very quickly things have turned around for McMurray here. And Chomet will be up now. He is 1 for 1 today himself with the single he had. Big hello to Lindsay Swift, tuning in from Austin. Lindsay is the big sister of Noah Clarkson, one of McMurray's players. Very kind words. Says, I have to say this is the best D3 baseball broadcast this season. It makes me want to tune in and listen, even on the games that y'all, us, notice how I said y'all, I'm practicing, don't play McMurray. Thank you, Lindsay. That means a lot. We really appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the game from Austin, and hope the McMurray fans in Abilene are doing so as well. Chomet doesn't offer that one, and it escapes past the catcher, Baker. Davis will jog out himself to pick up the loose ball.
A little bit of extra cardio there for Davis. And Chomet sends that one down. Bobbled over at first, and Chomet's going to reach.
We'll
see if Justin Parker gives that an error. I would suspect that he will.
It was a bit of a
and he does.
Interesting play there. And Chomet is going to race down to first as Hamill just couldn't find it in the dirt. And Chomet is able to get on for the Tigers. They have a base runner with 2 outs here.
Yeah, I think if that one had gotten away from Hamill a little bit, probably might have been able to give him the hit off of that. It's, you know, balls hit right at you seem routine depending on the funny hops that they take. So always have to wait for that scorer's decision. And we've been critical of Justin at times.
Yeah.
But I think the right call on that one is he went to stab the ball with his glove. A lot of times I tell you pick it up with your hand. If it's just sitting there on the ground, pick it up with your hand and take care of it. And Hamill unable to do so. It gives Tigers hope. And brings up Davis, who had the RBI single back in the first. The ball that hit off of the pitcher Jenkins right off his lower backside, and then just scooted away from the reach of Speck and out into center field. And Davis would love to do a little bit more to get an RBI on this one. Chomet off before the pitch.
And he's going to get there. I think Chomet's slide might have put a little bit of doubt in the mind of Speck. And he wasn't able to grab it.
I don't know what just happened there. Speck took off before the pitch. and the throw from Baker beat him by about 2 steps. Just remarkable. I don't know if I looked away briefly. I don't know if Shamet maybe hesitated after taking that early jump. Normally, once you jump, you just go. You don't make your hesitations or anything after that. But if Shamet was running full and got beat by the throw from Baker, that is an absolutely incredible job from McMurray on that potential put-out attempt. Unfortunately, the ball skipped away for McMurray, and fortunately for Trinity now, runner in scoring position, 2-0 count to Davis, and for the Tigers, you hope that maybe this one goes 3-0 so he gets a good look at the next one, and it does. It does. So maybe expect fastball here from Jenkins. And
Davis does have a lot of power, already has that single in the RBI earlier.
Not the guy you want to be forced to be throwing fastballs to. So
no.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jenkins maybe waste one. He got first base open, but he does throw a fastball right down the middle. And the green light not given to Davis unless he just didn't like it. I don't know. Davis
not offering, and count is 3-1. Reminder, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Shamet is quick, looking to take off from second. You can see him there on your screen. He starts to move. Davis fouls that one back, and we will have a full count here, 3-2.
Yeah, and so Jenkins now battle his way back. Falls behind 3-0, but when you allow the 3-0 pitch to just go by you, it allows the pitcher to get back into a count. So we'll see what he's got here for Davis, who's hitting just a touch over 300 now on the season. Came in at 299 and is 1 for 1.
Davis flies that one, and it's going to drop safe just in front of the left fielder, Chalk, who gets a very nice throw in to Stokes. And Shamet is held at third, but Davis is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles.
Yeah, you're going to sort of be forced to throw fastballs there to get the strike in on him. And you saw a great job by Chalk to get that one back in, forcing Alan Sailors, third base coach for the Tigers, to was initially trying to send Shamet, and then he holds him up. And so runners in the corners for the reigning SCAC Offensive Player of the Week, John Tucker. And
that's his official name now, right?
That's the official name.
Tucker, fast becoming Trinity baseball royalty, winning numerous awards this year, even named to the Hero Sports D3 Team of the Week earlier this season.
Well-deserved honor for started
on
15
fire.
games, I think hitting about 480. Settled in nicely, about 330, 340 throughout the rest of the season so far.
That one's going to fly off the barrel and foul, so count will be 1-1 here.
As we've talked about, Tigers getting their groove back a little bit after those 2 losses last weekend.
And Josh, you touched on it earlier, the Centenary Series coming up at the weekend, really huge as Tucker swings through that one and doesn't get a piece of it. He did strike out in his first at-bat today, but that Centenary, the Trinity Centenary rivalry as far as baseball goes has really flourished in recent years, with that more often than not being the championship series in the SCAC championship tournament.
Yeah, and definitely was the case last year with this group, and see what Tucker here does here before we talk about it more. He goes down swinging again. They got him high and inside for his first at-bat, and then Jenkins goes low and away with the slider to strike him out on the second one. And Tucker 0 for 2, strands 2, and the Tigers come up empty here in the third. We head to the fourth, and the Tigers trail by a run. You're watching Trinity Baseball on the Tiger Network.
Welcome back, guys. Top of the 4th. Natoli continuing as Baker, who had that big home run, is back in the box, and Natoli will not want to see a repeat of that here.
Baker's 3rd of the season in the last at-bat. Tries to go for number 4 with that swing and comes up empty. Now 2-1. Natoli getting him to whiff again in 2-2.
Baker battling to stay alive.
And he did this his first at bat as well. I remember he flew out or put the ball on a fly out to shallow foul territory right field. Unable to get it was the trio of Tigers. I think just unsure of who actually had a good read on it. I mean, the sun might have played a part in it. That one's lifted foul and out of play. And then forced Natoli to work the count a little bit and then made him pay with the 2-run shot to left. Baker doing a fantastic job of fighting it off and staying alive. You know, really the only mistake that Natoli has made was the pitch that he gave up to Baker for the home run. He's allowed 3 hits other than that. And he gets called strike 3 right there, so
that
one down.
Is the 5th K for Natoli today. And Natoli gets Baker a little bit of revenge for that opening home run with that pitch there. And Baker a little bit frustrated. But Natoli firing back. And we've actually had a message in from New York. Strike him out, James. It's on EO. Watching from New York. Go Tigers. So thank you for joining us. Fantastic. The Natoli family clearly very tuned into the Tiger baseball today. Understandably so. And yeah, if you didn't believe us that we were nationwide and indeed worldwide, you've got my family tuning in from London, England, and they know absolutely nothing about baseball. So you can trust me on that when they have no idea what's going on. As Tucker is able to grab that one, juggles it a little bit and still has time. Oh, it's gonna pass the glove of Davis.
Ricochet is back out to him, so Hamill will stay there. He reaches on an error. The Tigers' first of the game, and Hamill, who had singled to left center in the first inning, will now reach on a third baseman from, I gotta say, that's got to go to Tucker. And
yeah, it's a tough one there. I mean, Tucker, he juggled it a little bit and then looked like he had control of it. Threw it maybe a little bit high and outside the kind of the sphere of Davis's control, perhaps, but
that brings up all-name team nominee Blaine McRae as he lifts one into left center, and
immediately
Blake Frampton will take that one and record out number 2 on the inning.
We are still just putting together our shortlist for all-name team members today. I'm gonna say now we'll have a chat about it between the top of the 5th and the bottom of the 5th.
You will not want to miss that one.
No, obviously an important part of every Tiger Network broadcast.
You show up for the baseball. You stay
for the entertaining announcing, right?
Exactly. You stay for the all-name team.
We're getting snide looks from our colleagues in our press box.
Once you get through the all-name team, then we have to come up with something else to keep everybody here.
Well, we'll give you your sports updates later on, as obviously big night in San Antonio here potentially with Game 5 between the Spurs and the Warriors taking place in California. So plenty of watch parties.
Off after we're done. If we're still here when that game tips off,
then we're all going to be miserable.
Yeah, the commentary is going to get a little dull. The did have some.
That one's hit into center, and Frampton will take the catch. So Frampton dismisses Molina with his 2nd straight fly out into center. Natoli has 5 Ks through 4 innings, and the Tigers still trail 2-1 But Martin, Goodrich, and Frampton due up. We'll see you shortly. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. We are in the bottom of the fourth, and we have been fortunately joined in the commentary booth by Trinity Baseball's lead analyst, Duncan Kraft. Duncan has just got out of class. If you didn't believe that Trinity students work hard, it is 6:06 on a Tuesday, and Duncan has just arrived from his class, joining myself and Josh in the booth. Duncan, good to have you with us.
Yeah, good to be here. I am a student broadcaster, not a broadcaster student, so I do have to go to class.
Duncan committed to both Tiger Baseball and his academics, as all the best student broadcasters are, right?
Exactly.
So,
jack of all trades.
You are indeed.
I like to call myself.
Jake Martin lined out to center field in his first at-bat, and he's hit another one into center this time, and under it again is Garza. Martin dismissed for the first out here.
Batting seventh, the catcher, number 22.
That'll bring up number 22, Michael Goodrich. He ground out to third base in his first at-bat. Goodrich, as we've said, the team leader for the Tigers in home runs this year. A dangerous hitter when the moment strikes him. Jenkins continuing.
I show up here, and the Tigers are down by 1, but as I sit here right now, I'm not too worried about it. I was talking to Josh as we see this fly ball to center field, but on the broadcast on Sunday, I was talking to Josh about this Tiger team, about how resilient they've been all year long, and how even when they get down early, it seems like they stay confident. They understand who they are as a team. They're a really good offensive team as a whole up and down the lineup, and 1 run is not a huge deficit for them to overcome at all. And even here in the bottom of the fourth, I'm not worried about this 1-run deficit that they currently have.
Yeah, I mean, as Goodrich flies out for the second out there and Frampton is up now. Yeah, Duncan, you're absolutely right. This Tiger team's been playing from behind recently in that U-Dallas series, basically the whole weekend, and in other games as well, and have shown some resilience and fight back at various times during the year, winning all but one of their extra inning games so far this season. And Jenkins continuing to pepper Frampton with these pitches. That's a 1-1 count now. But, yeah, plenty of time left as well, I think, is something that the Tigers will be feeling confident about. And the Warhawks will be hoping to try and add to their lead and not allow the Tigers a route back in. As that swing and a miss from Frampton takes the count to 1-2.
And one of the interesting things we learned about on Senior Day is Blake hopes to head out to Hollywood after graduation and find some work in the film industry. So
he's got the good looks for it.
If there are
he has a face for the big screen
in Southern California with connections. Blake Frampton.
The whole acting thing is something that the entire team kind of gives him a little give him a hard time for, and some people sometimes think that he's joking, but he's actually very serious about moving out to Hollywood and trying to make it as an actor.
We got a young Val Kilmer right there.
Yeah, anyone who knows Blake knows that he is a character in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. And he's going to strike out on that one.
And that
And he was
do it for the bottom of the fourth.
Frustrated with himself as the bottom of the fourth comes to a conclusion as Mr. Hollywood jogs back to the booth. And we'll just stay with you just very briefly here as we give you our D3 baseball score updates, and I'll hand you over to Josh for these.
Yeah, and I know these are the big scores that Callum wanted to get to. Milwaukee Engineering, Maranatha Baptist. Milwaukee Engineering in 7 innings, 25-3. That was game 1 of the doubleheader. And then they go on in game 2 of the doubleheader to win 27-3.
Not a bad day for Milwaukee Engineering.
Not a bad day offensively. So that is your D3 scoreboard update. Another big score here, Loras 22-3 over Buena Vista. Bats are getting hot in the Midwest. The Bats have been stifled a little bit here in this game, 2-1. We've got fantastic pitching going on with Natoli and Jenkins. But, that's to be expected as we get into the later part of the year, especially with Trinity pitching. It should be dialed in. And the Warhawks, maybe a little bit of a disappointing season, but you got a chance to go out and get a victory over the #1 ranked team in the country, and it's not a win that necessarily makes your season, but it's going to be a pretty good feeling for them if they were able to do that. As Peyton Stokes comes up, I believe this was the teammate of Blake
Stokes
Frampton.
Laces that one through the left side, and he is on in the top of the 5th, the 4th hit of the day for the visiting Warhawks.
Now 2 runs on 4 hits and an error. 1 run on 4 hits and an error for the Tigers.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
Natoli waits for Dave Smith to make the trek to the mound. And that will do it for Natoli. As Sean Cubley is already well, he's standing on third base right now, waiting to come in.
Cubley was pretty eager to get into the action, and is going to join Smith on the mound there, wearing number 31 on his back. And Cubley coming in here in relief of Natoli. And so, why don't we take this time to have a quick chat about our all-name team honorees for the day, potentially. I'm just going to run through some potential nominations, and then we'll have a discussion. Number 1, Chase Bledsoe. Number 6, Kyle Keever, who is almost the budget Kyle Korver, but I really like Kyle Keever as a name. Number 8, Rhodey Johnson. A personal favorite of mine, number 9, Zach Smotherman. Almost like a Pokemon, but Smothermon, I like that. Matthew Chalk, short and sweet. Purely for name recognition, Aaron Donald, number 26, has to be in consideration. For double-barreledness, Mark Clements Porras, superb as well. Xavier Huey, any name with an X is going to have a chance. And equally, Blaine McRae, as we mentioned earlier, a very nice name. And obviously, we can't forget assistant coach Boardman Adams, which is fantastic. So, Duncan, I'm going to ask you first. What is your input on these? Some great names all round.
It's actually kind of surprising how many names that McMurry has in contention right now.
A really good set of names.
Got to give credit to their coaching staff for recruiting some great names. If I looked at this list, I like the 2 names in the Clements Porras, Mark Clements Porras. I think that's pretty unique. But like you said, anytime you got an X in your name with Xavier Huey,
you've got a chance.
Yeah, I think that's a tough one to beat. And then, but then the coaching staff, the assistant coach, and Boardman Adams.
Personally, that's got my vote.
Boardman Adams is fantastic, but
can you give it to a coach?
I think the official rules, which I am making up on the spot, are that it must be a player, and so
I'm going to recognition.
Yeah, special recognition, absolutely, to Boardman Adams.
And we'll get a player on the team too.
I think I'm going to narrow it down a little bit to 3, and then we might even, maybe we'll do a little Twitter poll and help you decide. But I'm going to narrow it down as Cubley is now getting ready to pitch here. And I'm going to make the executive decision as that one is over. Chance for the double play, maybe not quite enough time, but Morrison does well to get the out at second, and so Stokes is dismissed as Garza manages to get on the fielder's choice.
It's a good quick out by Cubley right there. On the season, Cubley has 6 appearances, a 4.00 ERA. He's given up 14 hits, 6 runs, 4 of those earned, 5 base on balls, and 14 strikeouts. So pretty good numbers overall for Cubley. Not a ton of innings so far this season, but someone out of the pen that obviously Trinity will look to go to and look for someone to pitch well coming here into the postseason play.
He's a hard-throwing right-hander. And that one goes for ball 1 here to Gonzalez, who is 1 for 1 today after a walk to lead off the game, and then a single to center field in the 3rd.
Josh, you mentioned earlier McMurray maybe not having a great season this year, but these are some of the games towards the end of the season that can sometimes be challenging for a team like Trinity. When you have a team like McMurray coming out here and playing more for pride than anything, they're playing really hard, trying to end their season on a high note to build for next year. And sometimes these teams can come in here and kind of sneak up on you, especially for a team like Trinity who's really been cruising all year long.
Yeah, and pregame conversation with assistant coach Alan Sailors, I asked him, what he thought of the matchup today, and he said that he really thought that McMurray was going to surprise everybody here if you were just looking at their record. He said they're a tough team that's going to come in here and challenge everything and battle the entire game. He likened them a little bit to what we saw last night. For 5 innings, Our Lady of the Lake played us really close and kept us scoreless. And so I think, from the Tiger coaching staff's perspective, much respect given to McMurray, and they obviously realize the talent level on the field, and so I don't think this surprises them much. Just from a complete outsider's point of view, I think if you're tuning in and you're looking at the records, it's obviously a little bit of a shock. But and I'm a little biased, but even teams with subpar records in Texas, I think, are really good baseball teams. As Gonzalez will draw his 2nd walk of the game, so he's still 1 for 1, and that will advance Garza down to 2nd.
So Cubley in need of something to get out of this. Runners at 1st and 2nd, and Speck, who is 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and then a double play, and it's going to be a very quick mound visit from Coach Smith to Cubley after that walk.
I think that's going to be it for Cubley. Quick pull.
And we've seen this from Trinity, fairly often. I mean, your job is to go in there and throw strikes. And so sometimes if you're not able to hit the strike zone, instead of sitting there waiting 3 or 4 batters to figure out if a kid's got it or not for the day, they'll just make the switch. Especially when you're playing at home, you've got your entire roster available for you. And so just go to the next man down the rotation, which appears to be Corey Cater stepping in. By no means is that any indication of Natoli on the year or Cubley on the year. Both of those guys are excellent pitchers. And, it's a matter of just trying to get guys ready. And we talked about it earlier in the season. Everything after today is officially playoff baseball. And so you're trying to get everybody going, and you want everybody to be peaking right about now. And the last thing you want to do on a pitcher is destroy their confidence. So if it doesn't look like they've got it, help the kid out, have him, try again on the next day and go forward from there.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, is about momentum as well. As you come towards this later part of the season, you want to go into postseason having won a few games in a row and really feel like you're playing your best baseball. And, even though this is a non-conference game, it doesn't mean it's not as important. It's still important for Trinity to come in here and get a W and do what they can to build that momentum and, like Josh said, peak at the right time here at the late part of the season. So they're going to do everything they can to win this game, and even if that means having to pull someone quickly if they don't like what they see or whatever moves they have to make, they're going to do that because they really understand that this time of year is when you need to be playing your best, running off some wins in a row here.
Yeah, indeed. And Duncan, Corey Cater is a big first-year right-handed pitcher from Sacramento, California, wearing number 38 on your screen right now. What can you tell us about Cater from your side of things here, Duncan?
Corey Cater has been a very impressive first year this year for Trinity. On the year in 13 appearances, he has a 1.32 ERA. He's 2-0 record. He's given up only 4 earned runs all season long in his 27 1/3 innings of work, and he also has 34 strikeouts and 9 walks in those innings. So really impressive that he's been able to come in here as a freshman and be dominant. We saw him come out in his last appearance and shut down Dallas this past weekend and be really good in relief, and a guy that Trinity obviously is going to be relying on here at this part of the season. Mostly probably out of the bullpen, but someone that they can trust to come in and put up zeros and keep the other team off the board and keep his team in ball games.
Cater with 1 out and runners on first and second. That's put into play into right field, and very quickly on 1 pitch, they're going to get 1 out. It's going to be a throw down to third, and I think he's going to be safe, and indeed, Garza escapes to third. Jake Martin put in a very nice throw there, trying to get him at third, but the speedy Garza able to get there and be 2 out on the corners for McMurry.
Yeah, Garza showing speed there, and a good throw by Martin, but that was probably something that Garza, knowing himself, knowing his speed, probably watched Martin in pre-games today, watched his arm, and saw that the ball he thought was deep enough to be able to advance on that tag up, and good read there, base running wise by Garza to get to third base, but also a good job by Corey to come in here and get a quick second out and now have an opportunity to get Trinity out of this inning without giving up any runs.
Cater continuing. That one's outside to Chalk. Chalk struck out twice already. And again, feel free to contact us on Twitter or via text with anything you want to know, any questions. I can ask the real baseball experts to either side of me, Duncan and Josh, or if you really want an English person's take on baseball, I'll answer it as well. But questions, queries, donations, always welcome. After yesterday, we do have 76 cents now towards our new press box. A big thanks to David Chomet for promising to match the 38 cents we'd already raised. So we're moving in the right direction here. Thankfully today, it's rather cool and there aren't too many mosquitoes around just as yet. So not yet dying out here. And a very quick response on Twitter from Joel Holmes, who says, "Is there even baseball in England?" And the answer is no, not really. Although there have been discussions in recent years about, and I think even confirmation that there will be some MLB regular season games being played in England in the coming years. So baseball is taking over the world. And Cater able to finish things off there.
So it's 3 strikeouts now for Chalk on the day, and Cater with a huge strikeouts per 9. Not a huge shock there. As we've reached the middle of the 5th, when we return, we'll see if Callum has narrowed down his all-name team, and he'll give us our finalists and see where we sit with that. Watching the Tiger Network, we'll be right back.
Welcome back, guys. We are in the bottom of the 5th now, and Jack Wisniewski in the 9 slot will be up first for the Tigers. As we are back here with our final 3 nominees for our all-name team today. The award will be going to one of Mark Clements Porras, Zach Smotherman, or Kyle Kiever. So we're going to have to figure out a way to decide exactly who's going to be awarded the all-name team today. Josh suggests putting them all in there. I'm limiting myself to 1 per team. I'm going to have to stick with that one. Trying to be fair to everyone. Wisniewski takes strike one. And then ball one as Jenkins continuing on the mound for McMurray. Already seen 3 Tiger pitches today, but just the one from McMurray.
Yeah, I showed up late, so I obviously didn't see the first couple innings from Jenkins, but as you see,
that is a big hit into center field and nicely tracked down by Garza, who has made some nice plays out there in center field, robbing the Tigers of some hits. And Wisniewski falls to 0 for 2 today with his second flyout into center field. And that'll bring up Logan Morrison, who has a double and was hit by pitch so far today. So he's been on base both times he's been in the batter's box.
But what I was saying was Jenkins doesn't, at least from what I've seen so far, doesn't appear to have overpowering stuff, keeping the Tiger hitters off balance enough. I mean, it doesn't look like his fastball is too firm, but sometimes those are the pitchers that are hardest to hit because you got to wait back. You got to see things that have more movement. Not much straight, not much hard to hit. So it looks like so far Jenkins is just doing a great job of keeping the Tiger hitters off balance and doing what he can to just get them to induce some bad contact and get outs.
1-1 count here now. That one is going to go straight to the shortstop. That is Molina, and he will get it over to Hamill at first, and missed. And in the bottom of the 5th with Parker Cormack up next.
Slot, designated hitter number 2, Parker Cormack.
That's a vibe. Oh, that's a vibe. And that's a vibe. Yeah, that's a vibe. She want a vibe. That's
Cormack
a vibe, yeah.
is 0 for 2 today. Ground out to shortstop and flew out to right field. That one is in for ball one from Jenkins.
Parker in that DH slot again today, something we've seen him do quite a few times this year, and something that sometimes is harder than playing a position in the field. Looks like that ball is going to stay in play for the 3rd out, but sometimes DH, where you're not really in the rhythm of the game, you're not playing defense, you're just sitting on the bench waiting for your next at bat. You can get stiff, you can get tired. Could be a little more challenging. I mean, at least some people would think than playing a position and hitting as well. So you'd think that just being a DH, all you have to worry about is hitting, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier.
And with that, McMurray still holding a 2-1 lead. We will head to the top of the 6th. Cater back on the mound. Back with you very shortly on the Tiger Network. You're back with us here as we mess around with our scoreboard and toy with perhaps going into the karaoke realm of the world. Karma Chameleon was just playing, and as we learned yesterday, a chameleon is the thing that evolves into Charizard in the Pokemon universe. As Cater lets that one go, and it's into the glove of Goodrich, but ball one here. I think officially it's referred to as the Pokeverse, but, we don't need to go there, do we? Maybe? Is that copyright infringement?
I think you're okay just talking about it.
Okay, wonderful. Strike one there for Cater, who is someone who is known for being able to strike out batters and find that strike zone and absolutely lay into it with his pitching.
Yeah, Corey Cater on the season, averaging 11.2 Ks per 9 innings.
We're getting a couple more questions in including one that's going to require some research. Which players hold the career record for batting average at Trinity and at McMurry, and whose is higher? Asking for a friend. So I have to assume that someone has some sort of inside insight into this. We're going to do some research and we'll get back to you on that. Hitting records, Trinity Baseball Archives, relatively easy to find. I'll have to see if I can do the same for McMurry. As Cater now has a full count here. That one is fouled off again.
Are we looking for single season average or career?
I think career. Yes, career record.
So then that would be Kenneth Sharp with a 409 career batting average.
For the Tigers?
For the Tigers. Minimum of 350 at bats.
Yeah, 400 hitters all time for Trinity. Kenneth Sharp, 409. Bo Edwards and Jason Armstrong, both 407. Evan Jones, 406. And that's it. That's it. Those are all the 400 hitters we have. That is it.
Josh, I think you might be forgetting someone.
J.C. Bunch hit 399.8.
399.8.
Yeah. So
that's harsh for J.C. Bunch.
So that is
sadly
400 hitters.
Off
400 hitters. Kenneth Sharp, Bo Edwards, Jason Armstrong, Evan Jones.
Okay. I'm looking. Individual records career batting average. As that one is laced into center field and Frampton takes the out. Individual records career, minimum at-bats 200 for McMurray. Stephen Yurchik, which is itself a nominee for the All-Name team. 2007 to 8 batting average 436. So I have to kind of say that that text might have been from Stephen Yurchik, maybe. And
if so, well played.
Yeah, well played indeed. And the Tiger hitter was Kenneth Sharp, correct? So Kenneth Sharp and Stephen Yurchik, 436. Murray average is high.
Further, single season batting average, though, Trinity with 480 from Evan Jones in 2010, 475 from J.C. Bunch in 1998. Also in that 98 season, Doug Grigger, 464, as well 464, Bo Edwards. So the 98 Tigers could hit the ball.
The 2010 McMurray team had a Jake Mullin with a batting average of 462, individual season record.
So I think they were squared away at 1 now.
And bingo, Stephen Yurchik, good to have you with us.
Cater now 2-1.
And we have had another very nice message in, which I'm going to read. More to give Josh a little ego boost. Thank you so much for your remarkable broadcast. I have recently especially enjoyed the addition of Josh to the booth. He adds keen technical baseball insight to, this is very generous, Callum's witty and clever commentary, which is basically saying in a very nice way, Josh knows what he's talking about and Callum is trying to be funny. So we'll take that compliment, I guess, nice. As that one is in through the right side, and that's going to be a hit for Hamill as he gets on at first base.
Hamill 2 for 3, and he's reached base all 3 times. Had a single and then reached on an error. So Hamill,
number 32,
maybe not candidate for the all-name team,
but he's playing well today.
Candidate for the player of the game so far today. Blaine McRae, 0 for 2 on the day. He popped to second, and he flew out to center. And now has a runner on with 1 down as he faces Corey Cater.
That one is high. I'm just going to go ahead and announce this. I've made an executive decision for the all-name team today. While a double-barreled surname a la Mark Clements Porras is a very good thing, we've had some of those already this season, and while alliteration a la Kyle Kiva is a very, very good thing, it's really hard to look past this an exceptional last name, and Zach Smotherman is too good to ignore. So congratulations, Zach Smotherman. You are being enshrined in the Tiger Network All-Name Team Hall of Fame.
Coming soon to a plaque near us.
Yeah, we should actually put one up. I would love to do that. If we get our long-wanted press box, you have our word that these names will go on a wall and rather than just in my little notebook here.
Here there's talk that possibilities of maybe your prayers being answered.
Yeah, I heard
too long.
Trinity Fastbat were trying to do something. Fastbat, the supporters group run by Trinity parents. Always good to have them involved in the program.
And speaking of donations, we'd be remiss if we didn't send a very special thank you out to Lynn Turner, whose kind contributions are a big part of what you're watching tonight, helping us along with Tiger Network. And former student that enjoyed his time here at Trinity, particularly with the athletic department, the basketball team. And his hope and desire is to have students be able to have some of the same experiences that he was able to have through different outlets here at Trinity. And very big thank you out to Lynn Turner for his generosity.
And it really is true here. The Tiger Network student-run broadcast service. We've got students on the cameras and computers today. We've got student broadcaster Duncan to my right, actually employed broadcaster Josh to my left, and
to almost.
To the shortstop Molina, and over to first is Hamill, as Davis is denied a 3-for-3 start to today's game. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th, with Tucker up next.
But those shadows making it hard for a hitter to pick up the ball as it goes from light to dark. Definitely to pick up a spin, and on a pitcher like Jenkins, who appears to be changing speeds and throwing a lot of off speed, keeping the Tiger hitters off balance, that could just add another challenge.
And over to first is Hamill, as Davis is denied a 3-for-3. It appears we've got our audio back, as the computer to my left has just lit up with my voice, and John Tucker is lighting up the field with that single. So Tucker gets on with 2 outs here. Apologies to everyone who's lost our audio over the last few minutes. We think we've got it sorted. Thank you very much again for getting in touch with us via the text number on your screen. We appreciate your help in making this work. And it brings up Jake Martin. Not entirely sure where we lost you audio-wise. Zach Smotherman named all name team, just for anyone who's really interested in that. But Jenkins still on the mound here. And we are doing our best to continue to bring you the coverage here from San Antonio. McMurray leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. And the aforementioned Colin Sikowski, who hit a home run the last time these 2 teams met in 2016, is now in attendance here as Martin flies that one into center field, and Garza will get another out of Martin. That's the 3rd time in this game, all 3 at-bats, that a catch has been made by Garza in center field to dismiss Martin. And so we are back on the air, it appears, with our audio, but we are going to take a little break here as between innings. And Stokes, Garza and Gonzalez due up for McMurray. They lead the Tigers 2-1 here as we head to the top of the 7th on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Cater still on the mound, hoping that we've still got audio for you. Apologies for the problems that we've had in the last couple innings here. We are working as quickly as we can to rectify everything. That is just over the head of Wisniewski. Peyton Stokes following up his single in the 5th with a single here in the 7th. And McMurray have an early base runner here. And Cater gives up his 2nd hit of the day with a first pitch single to Stokes there.
Yeah, Stokes come out aggressive, first pitch fastball swinging. Possibly watching Cater last inning, who was really aggressive with his fastball, attacking the hitters early in the count. And Stokes not hitting that one super solid, but able to recognize the fastball and stay on it well enough to get it over Wisniewski at short for an early base runner here in the top of the 7th.
That'll bring up Garza, who is 0 for 2 today. Pulls back from a bunt, and that's a strike.
To look for them to maybe play a little bit more small ball as we see the bunt here. Trying to get the runner over, play for one run here, try to extend their lead by another run to 2, and definitely look for McMurry to maybe start playing a little bit more small ball here at this point in the game.
One and one count now from Cater to Garza. Big swing, nothing there. And that'll be a 1-2 count.
It's like McMurry's third base coach was not too happy with that. I think that the hitter Garza might have missed a sign.
Garza hitting .274 this season coming into this game. Puts that one through the gap though, and McMurry really are in business. Back-to-back singles, no outs, and 2 base runners for the Warhawks as Kevin Garza, the center fielder, gets on here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, good job by Garza staying with that pitch, taking it the other way through the hole. Not hit hard enough for Stokes to make it to third base on that ground ball to right field, but sets McMurray up here for a good inning. They got runners on first and second, no outs, and a chance for them to, like I said, get across at least one insurance run here in this part of the game.
Having some technical difficulties with our center field cam, so you're currently seeing it from our home base cam right now. Working on those for you guys. 2-1 McMurray. That is a bunt attempt laid down. There will be an out at first, surely indeed, as Morrison gets over there and Davis tosses it to him, but the sac bunt from Gonzalez does the job for McMurray. Stokes to third, Garza to second, and just one out. Maybe there are a couple of insurance runs coming here, Duncan.
Yeah, and there's the small ball that I was talking about. Gonzalez laying down a good bunt with the first baseman charging in that situation with possibility to make the play at third, but a good enough bunt by Gonzalez to move the runners over, and now you only got one out and 2 runners in scoring position here for the middle of the lineup coming up for McMurray.
Speck, who is 0 for 3 today, is up now, the second baseman, and Cater having a chat with Goodrich on the mound.
It looks like the Trinity infield will be playing in to cut off that runner at home.
And indeed, it looks like there might be a pitching change here as Dave Smith now coming back out onto the field. Maybe Goodrich and Cater were having a chat as they were told to do so. Smith looking like we might be seeing a 4th Tiger pitcher today, and indeed we are, as it seems, the Tigers, and we're going to see another change here as Cater departs to a waiting team, and a nice round of applause as coming into the game it looks like this will be number 9 Jeff Lonecker, and indeed it will. So
now pitching number 9 Jeff Lonecker.
Lonecker, someone the Tigers have used quite a lot this year in relief, and we will let him warm up, and we'll be back with you shortly. Continuing the top of the 7th here, McMurray leading the Tigers 2-1. You're watching the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys.
Second baseman number
Hoping you're still with us here. Have had some relatively serious issues with our technical stuff here, but it looks like we could be okay. As Lonecker now into the game. Duncan, Jeff Lonecker, talk to me.
Yeah, Lonecker on the season, 11 appearances, 31 innings. He's only given up 7 earned runs. He has 8 walks compared to 46 strikeouts, a 2.03 ERA. Someone who we've seen come in out of the relief position, came in this last weekend against Dallas, and was really good for the Tigers. Came in and threw hard, threw strikes, was really overpowering for the Dallas offense. And I think that's what Trinity will be looking for him to do again tonight against McMurry.
Lonecker gets a strike there. 0-2 now to Speck, and we appear to have got our center field cam back, so good to have that back on the broadcast.
And especially in this situation with runners at second and third, you definitely like a guy who can come in there and get strikeouts, which is really what you need in order to keep McMurray off the board, keep them from scoring a run. So if you can bring Lonecker in here to get a few strikeouts, get you out of the inning without a run, that'd be huge, as we see first strikeout here with the throwdown. And that's exactly what Trinity wants right there, get 2 outs, opportunity to get out of this inning now without giving up a run. That'd be huge for Trinity to stay in this ballgame.
Batting third, left fielder number 16, Matt Chalk.
And Matt Chalk will be up now with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Still runners at second and third. Lonecker trying to get out of this jam. Strike 1.
Lonecker in his last appearance, 3 1/3 innings, had 4 strikeouts, didn't give up an earned run. Looked really dominant out there on the mound against Dallas this past weekend, and looks like he's continuing that this week or today right now against McMurray.
And we do have another little update from someone in the Abilene area saying that Jenkins, Stokes, and Frampton all played together on a baseball travel team. So a lot of overlap here between the 2 teams, McMurray and Trinity, as Lonecker, who is from Bel Air, Texas, strikes him out. Big cheers from the Tiger fans there and the players in the dugout as Trinity get away with that one. Chalk strikes out for the 4th time today. Very frustrated there. And as we head to the bottom of the 7th, we have Goodrich, Frampton, and Wisniewski due up. You're watching the Tiger Network. Back with you very shortly. Welcome back, guys. Bottom of the 7th on the Tiger Network. Michael Goodrich back in the box, continuing to face Tyler Jenkins, who's been very solid today, coming in with a 1-3 record and a 6.97 ERA, holding the #1 team in the nation to just 1 run through 6 innings. Got to be happy if you're Jenkins right now. Facing 24 batters, and this will be the 25th, as Goodrich will be out at first. Hamill getting the play from the throw from Molina, and that will bring up Blake Frampton, Abilene's own.
Center fielder number 34, Blake Frampton.
And so Frampton will face off against his former teammate, Jenkins, again. And we've actually had a message in from Blake's mom, who says, "We have loved and cherished you guys over the last 4 years. Thank you very much. But FYI, Blake does not have her blessing to move to California. So maybe the Hollywood dream is going to die before it even begins for Blake Frampton, as Mama gonna knock you out. Mama says no. I guess Frampton tries to knock that one out of the park. It's into left field and right at the wall. The play is made by Chalk. I would have loved that to have gone all the way there for what would have been a nice little audio soundbite. But sadly for Blake, the wishes from his mother do not quite work out, and it brings up Jack Wisniewski. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and Wiz will try and get on base. But, you know, we said when you arrived, Duncan, the Tigers have plenty of time left and still some opportunities here. But McMurray and especially Jenkins looking very calm in this situation, protecting this 1-run lead right now.
Yeah, if you're Trinity, you're still not panicking, though. You're only down 1 run. You got plenty of time, plenty of opportunities offensively to come back up, as long as you keep the lead only to 1.
Wisniewski into center field. Great swing, but right into the glove of Garza. And that'll do it. Jenkins with a very quick 1-2-3. And the Warhawks continue to lead the Tigers 2-1 here as we head to the top of the 8th on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Top of the 8th is Chris Baker, who had that big home run to score the 2 runs for McMurray here today, is back out there in the box. And we'd just like to take a moment to send our best wishes to our fellow Trinitonians, Trinity, Connecticut, as that one goes in play off the bat of Baker, and nicely played by Wisniewski over to Davis at first for the first out. But yes, Trinity, Connecticut, who we've just discovered use exactly the same font as we do to spell Trinity, in the NESCAC in the Northeast, playing Western New England, currently leading 8-5 there. So, you know, best wishes to them, our fellow Trinity. And Josh, let's do our roundup of the day's other sporting action. Obviously, we've got the NBA to look forward to tonight, but Josh, what can you tell us about the day in sports so far?
So around the pitch, over in Europe, we'll go quickly through this one because I know you don't want to talk about it, but in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League, it was Liverpool 5, Roma 2. So not a good start for them. In the English League Championship, Derby County 3 and Cardiff City 1. Nottingham Forest 3, Barnsley 0. So fantastic for Nottingham Forest. Fantastic team to take on FIFA, by the way. Just lovely logo.
You'll love this about Nottingham Forest. Known lovingly as that one goes past and through the right side. Chance though as Morrison gets over there, but the throw escapes Lonica.
Should be a base hit.
That'll be a base hit for Hamill, who's now 3 for 4 today, having a good day himself. Hamill gets on with 1 out in the top of the 8th.
See on that replay there, tough throw by Morrison as he's kind of floating away, his balance going towards the outfield, and that will tend to make the ball run up the line. Tough to get a good throw on the money there to Lonecker, covering it first, and it was a good job getting over to the cover, but tough play overall.
But yeah, just to go back to the Nottingham Forest story, they are lovingly referred to by their fans as the Tricky Trees. which I thought you might like as a
fantastic
nickname. Very nice nickname. That one's going to just hang under Goodrich, well blocked, as Lonica lost a bit of control with that one.
The ESPN football scoreboard, a little struggle today with the English League One scores here. They've got Milton Keynes Dons, obviously.
Milton Keynes Dons.
Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
And then Bradford City beat them 2-0. So, you know, the make-believe town established just outside London, falling today 2-0. Bristol and Wigan 1-1 tie. We will not have a tie here today. We will play
in America,
winner.
We don't do ties.
We have lights, so there will be no game called on darkness.
2-1 count here to McMurry. He doesn't offer at that one. Count will move to 3-1.
Blackburn was a 1-0 winner. And Shrewsbury Town 3-1 over Peterborough. That one ripped to Logan Morrison out past his outstretched arm, and that'll be back-to-back singles now for McMurray, as McRae, who feels snubbed on the all-name team.
Yeah, he does feel snubbed, but just not quite as good as Smotherman.
Pounding out hits now to take out his frustration on that one.
Shortstop number 13, Devin Molina.
And so 2 runners on for the Warhawks as they look for one of Duncan's previously mentioned insurance runs here, leading 2-1. Lonica trying to get out of this, 1 out. Do have to give a big shout out to former Trinity soccer player Murray Fraser, tuning in all the way from Dunfermline, Scotland, just to further prove that this is a worldwide phenomenon here on the Tiger Network. D3 SPN, bringing you the best of Division 3 athletics from around the world. If baseball can call it the World Series, I can call the Tiger Network a worldwide phenomenon, okay?
I believe it is a worldwide phenomenon.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Viewers in multiple continents.
Yes. Unlike teams from one. Anyway, that one goes foul, and Molina is going to have to come back. He's 0 for 3 today.
We'll run down the NHL scoreboard today, and that is it. No games on the schedule.
All you hockey fans, tweet Josh your anger there.
Canada has taken an official day off. Nothing going on.
And obviously tonight, another big day in the NBA playoffs. As we mentioned earlier, Game 5 between the Warriors and the Spurs, slated for a 9:30 tip-off in San Antonio. Excuse me, 9:30 local time, but tipping off obviously in California. Equally, is that in play right now?
That is correct.
The Celtics 44-29 up on the Bucks, approaching half-time there. And also, Heat and 76ers will be on TNT later on. Gotta love the 76ers right now.
Trust in the process.
I'm
believing in the process right now.
As Dave Smith is out here on the mound talking to Jeff Lonica. And it appears Lonica's going to be allowed to continue. I thought Embiid said it was their time.
Right.
Time, year, same thing, maybe?
It's got to be the same. I mean, if it's their time, I'm expecting him to pull it off this year.
They bet. I mean,
although, if we could just see more of the soccer ping pong with Joel.
Yeah, that's a very good video
Steve
if you haven't
Nash.
seen that.
That is fantastic entertainment.
Question from Frank in San Antonio, as that's a big swing from Molina, gets none of it. What are your reflections on the season as a whole? Duncan, as our student broadcaster, what are your reflections on the Tiger baseball season, and where do you see this team going in the postseason?
Well, I mean,
big question, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a 32-4 record.
Ooh, throw down to third, but he's going to not be able to make the play, and Hamill steals successfully. Runners on the corners now for McMurray with 1 out. Sorry, Duncan, carry on.
I mean, anytime you have a 32-4 record, you kind of have to say that it's been a pretty successful season. 13-12 in or 13-2 in conference. On the whole, Trinity has shown the ability all year long to up and down the lineup get hits when they need them. Pitching staff has been pretty solid. Most of the year they've struggled a little bit recently, but I think this team has shown enough to be optimistic going into postseason play. But the thing with with them that we're going to need to see is that are they peaking at the right time? Can they go into this series this weekend at Centenary and possibly pull out a series and move into the SCAC tournament?
That one hammered into center field. The catch is made by Frampton, and he is able to make a fantastic play there to hold Hamill at third. Frampton storming in, grabbing the catch and forcing Hamill to tag up again. And it remains 2-1 with now 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
But I mean, like I said, anytime you have a 32-4 regular season record so far, that's very impressive and plenty of reason to be optimistic about not only this year but the future as well, with all the underclassmen that have been producing and performing well for the Tigers. But you never know. There's a lot of good baseball, a lot of good teams in the country. They're going to end up playing a lot of teams in the postseason that they haven't played yet. It's going to be challenging. I mean, it's challenging for anyone once you get to postseason play. And they're going to need to be playing their best baseball, but I think they've shown their ability to do that. And I'm optimistic about this year and in the future.
That one is ripped into left. Chomet having to go back towards the wall, and it comes off the wall. 1 run will score for McMurry. That's Hamill, and that's a double for Stokes. And McMurry do get the insurance run they were after. It's 3-1 in favor of the Warhawks.
RBI, Peyton Stokes.
And just as I'm talking about being optimistic, McMurry puts another run on the board. But like I mentioned, Tigers have been struggling a little bit as of late, not playing as well as they'd like to. But definitely some things that they'll be able to clean up in practice, hopefully, and get back to the way they were playing early on in the season when they seemed almost unbeatable.
McMurray feeling a little bit more confident now after that insurance run, Josh.
Yeah, a little bit. But you look at the flip side of this. I mean, Trinity gave up that 2-run homer, but it was after the inning should have been ended. And so, when you talk about, obviously I think we would have expected Trinity's bats to come alive a little bit more than what we've seen through 7 innings for the Tigers so far. But defensively, a pretty decent game here. It was pretty well pitched from Natoli, and we saw Cater come in, perform pretty decently. Not the lights out performances that we've seen. Lonaker looked good at the very start and getting hit a little bit here. So I think it's just as we look forward to the end of the season, it's about getting everything all, perfectly sewn up so that this team is clicking with perfection. And those are the types of things that you've got to take care of as you head into regional or postseason baseball.
Garza strikes out swinging, and the Tigers do give up 1 but avoid any real serious damage as the Warhawks strand 2, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. McMurray 3, Trinity 1 on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Logan Morrison at the top of the order. Up now for the Tigers. He's 1 for 2 today. Did have a double early in the game. A 1-1 count here. Jenkins still on the mound, looking to try and go the entire game here. That one is in play from Morrison, but straight to Molina, the shortstop, and he beats him by about a yard with the throw. That's 1 away, and McMurray just starting to smell the potential victory here. As Tyler Jenkins continues to look good here. And it'll bring up Parker Cormack. That's such a good walk-up song from Cormac.
It'll be interesting to see as we keep getting deeper into this game. Tyler Jenkins on the year has only pitched 20 and a 2/3 innings so far. His longest outing of the year has been 5 1/3 inning, so well past that mark so far. Clearly his best outing of the season, but as we get back to the middle of this Tiger lineup, as we see Parker punch a hit through the hole.
That's exactly what you needed if you're the Tigers. Cormac with a 1-out single, and Trinity just starting the fight back. That takes Cormac to 1 for 4 today, as you can see with this swing right here.
But look for Jenkins maybe start tiring. I'm not sure how long they'll keep him in there. He still looks fairly strong, but coming back to the middle of this Tiger lineup, a guy that Tigers have now had a chance to see multiple times through the lineup. Possibly an opportunity here for the Tigers to tie this one back up.
Rafe Chomet 1 for 3 today, had a single in the first.
Tigers now just a pitch away from tying the game here on Jenkins, who's looked stellar through 7 1/3.
Massively impressive so far today. Hard to believe his 6.97 ERA coming in. Jenkins has been absolutely fantastic. Yet to walk a Tiger batter. Chomet waiting for the right pitch. Puts a swing on that one, and it's going to just escape Hamill at first. And Chomet is out.
Oh, my.
Oh, we're not sure about that call there. That's Mike, isn't it, the umpire?
That is Mike.
And Chomet is going to be out at first. I thought he might have just beaten the throw, and we'll see if this replay gives us any sort of insight.
He was safe.
He did.
He beat him by a full step.
Oh, it's a bad call for the Tigers.
Brutal. But the Tigers still a pitch away from tying the game.
Yeah.
And
it has advanced Cormac to second, but it should be only 1 out and Chomet on. And instead, Chomet falls to 1 for 4 today. However, though, if you did want a Tiger hitter right now in this spot, it might be Mike Davis. He's 2 for 3 today with 2 singles and the RBI for the Tigers. That one's high.
Mike Davis, I think, seen the ball well today. Would not be surprised to see him do something big here.
And that one called for a ball, now 2-0. We should point out that
that was a tough call for Mike.
Missed calls are a part of the game, and you know.
I think what's really interesting to me is a lot of the time this season there's been discussions over umpires, you know, strike or no strike, but we haven't necessarily been able to necessarily review it and see it so clearly. And with that replay, superb camera work by Anthony down there to get that one. As that one is lined straight to the shortstop Molina, and Davis is out. And the Warhawks are potentially 3 outs away from a victory. They will come to bat in the top of the 9th with a 3-1 lead here on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, guys. Top of the 9th and top of the order. 1 for 1 today. 2 walks and a sac bunt. Mike Gonzalez up now.
As you get a good look at Loneker there. Still out there now for his third inning. Breaking ball in for a strike, now 0-2.
Good slider.
Loneker has looked impressive the last, say, 2 to 3 weeks. Really taking his game up just a notch. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Very quick there.
Gonzalez is retired on 3 straight. And that's the type of pitching that Loneker is going to need to
Number 2 slot second baseman,
keep
number 10,
this just a
Jordan
2-run
Speck.
game, as Jordan Speck will enter in.
Yeah, you can tell Loneker in his last few appearances really has confidence in all of his pitches. They're just in that at-bat there, showing a good slider and then coming back with a fastball with 2 strikes, perfectly located on the outside corner. He just seems to be in rhythm, locating his pitches well, locating all of his pitches. And right now he's really tough to hit.
Loneker really trying to keep this deficit to just 2 for the Tigers. Big swing on that one and nothing from Speck. Here's a little aside. In cricket in the UK, if you take a big hack like that and get nothing at it, it's relatively common to say, big swing, no ding. No contact on the ball. I quite like it as a slogan, perhaps, for the strikeouts
I feel like
here.
that definitely carries over.
As Callum gives us very useless cricket knowledge, Loneker runs the count to 1-2. Nice pitch outside from Loneker, and Speck having none of it. Runs the count now 2-2. And so important at bats here, I'd say, for McMurray. Jenkins has cruised along, but Trinity's lineup, I'd never feel comfortable going into the 9th with just a 2-run lead.
I mean, how many times this year have we seen Trinity put up more than 2 runs in half of an inning? It's happened quite often.
And it's Tucker, Martin, and Goodrich due up for the Tigers. But as that one is in for ball 3, this is Speck now with a full count. He struck out twice today and is 0 for 4 all in all. Loneker has 4 Ks already in his 2 innings. And there's another strikeout as Speck is gone, his 3rd K of the day. And that'll bring up Chalk, who himself is not having the best day with the bat.
Already has the
4 Ks.
The golden sombrero. That's what that's called, 4 Ks.
What's 5? The platinum sombrero?
5 is just awful.
So Chalk trying to avoid another K is going to foul that one. Davis is going to run over and try and make a play towards the dugout, but it's out and ends up hitting multiple golf carts over there by the Bell Center entrance.
In Chalk's defense, I mean, even good hitters have these type of days. He's obviously hitting in the 3-hole for a reason. We saw Giancarlo Stanton earlier this year twice strike out 5 times in a game. So sometimes at the plate you just have these games where nothing's working. You don't see the ball very well. Maybe timing's a little bit off.
That one's outside from Loneker. 1-1 count.
That's the foul ball off the dugout over there. It would take the 9th inning of the final game of the season for us to come within about a foot of our wireless receivers on the video.
Yeah.
As the count now runs 1-2. They are in harm's way over there to try to get you the best signal possible.
1-2. Chalk in danger of a 5th strikeout. Not on that pitch. 2-2 count now.
So Loneker wanted that one. He just overthrew it just a touch. As we see our first mosquito of the night.
I am ready to attack that mosquito if it comes near me.
The 2-2 from Loneker.
Struck him out again.
And so Loneker strikes out the side in the 9th, much to the relief of the Tiger faithful. And we head to the bottom of the 9th. Trinity in their final home game of the season, trailing 3-1. We'll see if the Tigers have any extra walk-off magic left in them for today.
You don't want to miss this. Don't go anywhere. Back with you in just a couple of minutes on the Tiger Network. And we are back. Bottom of the ninth. John Tucker. If ever there was a time when you wanted the SCAC Offensive Hitter of the Week, it's right now. John
Martin
Tucker.
and Goodrich due up for Trinity here in the ninth.
Bottom of the ninth. That one in for strike one as Jenkins is looking to complete the full game here. And what a performance it has been from him. No matter what happens from this point on, Jenkins has been superb. That one in for strike two. Tucker not getting a swing at either of these so far.
The second time in the last week we've seen a pitcher go almost a complete game against the Tigers.
Yep.
Voss from Dallas.
Tucker, this one's foul. That was close. I thought that might have been fair.
Right down the line. Home plate umpire, though, very quickly and decisively calling that one foul. So.
He has a better angle than we do here, so.
Yeah, he does, but does that make him right?
He can't, you know, I've always said if the umpire comes up quickly and decisively,
yeah, you can't complain.
I'm going to give it to him. It's when they hesitate and think about it. That's when the frustration.
Trust your instincts. And trust your instincts, John Tucker, right now. 0-2 down in the count. No outs, bottom of the ninth. Puts that one foul again, battling to stay alive.
Certainly foul. Tigers lost the first game of the season here at the Trinity Baseball Field to MIT. And hoping not to make bookend losses. But Tyler Jenkins, the 0-2 count, having other ideas on Tucker. Jeff Martin on deck, Goodrich in the hole for Trinity. And that one, a good eye from Martin. They're going to check him.
And that first loss to MIT here at home is Trinity's only loss on the season at home. So since then, they've been perfect.
Would be an interesting quirk of fate if they lost their first and last home games only all year. Hopefully not jinxing that one as Tucker is going to get on. And that's exactly the start you need if you're the Tigers. Just through the right side, gets between Speck and Hamill, and Gonzalez has to come in and pick it up as John Tucker goes to 2 for 4 today with that single through the right side.
It's a good job of two-strike hitting right there by Tucker. Not getting a great piece on it, but getting the bat on the ball and making something happen. And when you get 2 strikes, that's really all you're looking to do. Put something in play, and something positive will come of it. And the ball just sneaking through the hole there. And now you got Tucker on first base with no outs, and Tigers in position here to make a comeback.
And that'll bring up Jake Martin, himself 0 for 3 today, but 3 swings into left field, which some baseball analysts and players tell me are good swings no matter what happens. As Martin swings through that one on Jenkins and doesn't get a piece of it.
Jake Martin was trying to tie this game on one pitch.
Jake Martin, yeah, clearly going up there looking for a pitch and got it.
And I like the idea because you got to figure first pitch fastball.
Yeah.
If you sit on it and make contact, you've got a good shot.
Tucker poised to move from first. Jenkins lets another one go. This is outside and well blocked by the body of the catcher Baker, who I think's done pretty well defensively today without even mentioning his 2-run homer that started off the game for McMurray.
Tucker staying put at first base there with the ball in the dirt. You got to understand as Tucker that you're an important run right now. You don't need to be running on anything that's not too far from the catcher.
Tucker into center field, going back towards the wall and well grabbed. What a catch that is. Garza does it again. Jake Martin with his 4th swing into center field. So unlucky there as Garza runs back and robs the Tigers of a hit that could have brought them back into this game.
And seriously, Martin hit that ball about as far as you can hit a ball here at the ballpark here in Trinity. Absolutely crushed it to the deepest part of the ballpark, and Garza going back, making a good catch. But unfortunate that Martin getting such a good piece, not able to have anything to show for it.
Tough break for the Tigers. 1 out now. Goodrich up to bat himself, 0 for 3 today. Lets that one go past for strike 1. Tucker still at first.
Tigers in good shape here with Goodrich and Frampton on deck. But Jenkins, up and down this order, has been terrorizing Tiger hitters.
Still yet to walk a Tiger batter. Very impressive.
That, I think, is probably the most impressive stat of the day.
He just has
109 on his pitch count. Superb performance from Tyler Jenkins. Goodrich awaits. Count 1-1. That one is outside. Count 2-1. And I don't want to jinx him, but we haven't seen many 3-1 counts in general from Jenkins today. And that is a large reason as why we haven't seen a single walk for the Tiger team. Goodrich awaits the next one. Silence descends over the baseball field. Jenkins lets it go, and Goodrich swings through. 2-2 is the count.
Jenkins has had such a good rhythm all day. He's getting the ball and getting right back up on the mound, ready to go. Clearly has a lot of confidence right now and being able to execute his pitches, but Goodrich here in a big spot, trying to do something for the Tigers.
Goodrich swings and strikes out, and McMurry are 1 out away from taking victory here against the #1 team in the country. Blake Frampton, the center fielder from Abilene, playing against his former teammate Tyler Jenkins on the mound. Frampton is potentially the final out for the Tigers.
So we mentioned that the Tigers lost their first game at home here against MIT. They lost the game on the road to TLU, lost games at Schreiner and at Southwestern. Trinity had the tying run at the plate in all of those games except for that first loss against MIT.
And we're in that position here.
So we're in that position again. So 4 losses currently on the season, possibly looking at 5, depending on what Frampton's able to do. But in possibly 4 of those 5, they sent the tying run to the plate.
Frampton's going to fly that one over towards the Tiger dugout. There is a chance for the play, and that will do it. Stokes takes the catch, and McMurray come into San Antonio and knock off the #1 team in the country, the Trinity University Tigers, by a score of 3-1. What a performance from Tyler Jenkins, and this may be the Tiger Network, but we have to acknowledge when we are fairly and squarely beaten. And what a fantastic performance that is from Tyler Jenkins on the mound for McMurray.
Yeah, really great job by Jenkins, and unfortunate for Trinity to come out here and lose their last home game of the season, but not a terrible game all around from what I saw, and clearly some things that they're going to go in and try to clean up, especially on the mound here leading up to their last conference series against Centenary and then going into the SCAC tournament as they try to sort of regather themselves and be playing their best baseball here at the most important time of the year.
Indeed, it's going to take something for the Tigers to bounce back from this one, Josh, as they move to Centenary this weekend. What do you think is going to happen up there in Shreveport, Louisiana?
Yeah, and for Trinity, Centenary series should be a fantastic series, always is. I think the team will bounce back and be mentally ready, physically ready, with a couple of days off and a chance to head out to Shreveport. As we've mentioned before, the postseason effectively begins now. Winner-take-all series against Centenary. It'll be a 3-game series. The one that wins at least 2 games is the #1 seed in the conference championship, and will take on either Austin or Southwestern in the first game. The loser of that series will take on TLU and face one of their 2 dominant pitchers. So an important series for the Tigers, but everything from here on out is going to really test them. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the rest of the season. Still have a lot of faith in this team, a lot of high hopes. And congratulations to McMurray today. They played an outstanding game, took advantage of some miscues, and did their job. And fantastic individual performance on the mound. And hats off to them.
Yeah, congratulations to McMurray. All round, thoroughly deserved today. And that's going to do it for us. The McMurray Warhawks celebrating away to our right, deservedly so. And I'd just like to take this time very quickly just to say thank you to all of us, from all of us on the Tiger Network to all of you for tuning in this season. Tiger fans, we've had an absolute blast here. Duncan, myself, Josh, all of our guest commentators at various times. Honestly, your feedback and support makes it worthwhile for all of us. We would really like to thank you for tuning in and allowing us to be your broadcast team here on the Tiger Network this season.
And real quickly, once again, a huge thank you out to Lynn Turner. Also, a huge thank you to our students who have helped bring you all of these games. It's at various times, various sports. It takes a crew of anywhere from 8 to 10 students who come out, give up the time that they have. We talk about the student athletes and everything else, but being a part of these broadcasts, it does take away time from studying at times and sacrificing some of their free time. And just an absolute huge thank you from there. We do have commencement for graduating seniors on May the 12th, so it'll be fantastic for Duncan.
Yes, congratulations.
You can actually get to see Duncan on the other side of the camera.
Come watch me walk across the stage.
You can see him walk across the stage, so congratulations for that. But again, a huge thank you. And if there are things that you would like to see in the future, you can contact us at tigernetwork@trinity.edu. And for all of us, 2017, 2018, thank you for such a wonderful season. And we'll see you back in, was it late August, early September?
Yep,
August
31st. Actually, I tell you a lie. August 30th. Mark your calendars. Thursday, August 30th. Trinity football hosting McMurray in their opening game of the season. And from Josh, Duncan, and myself, Callum Squires, once again, you can contact us if you would like to. Tiger Network at trinity.edu. And we will be back with you in August. Thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at the Tiger Network. We wish you a very happy evening. Best of luck to the Tigers in the playoffs. And we will see you again here live on the Tiger Network. Good night.
In the last decade, more than 600 migrants have lost their lives in Brooks County due to dehydration and exposure to the elements.
As engineering students at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, our team was able to apply the skills we learned to help find the best solutions to this problem.
Working with the South Texas Human Rights Center, we designed a water station that helps migrants find clean water.
Seeing the immediate impacts of our work in the field has been an incredible experience.
Follow the path that empowers you to be your best self. Surround yourself with people who embrace your quirks, who don't settle, who seek a life without regret, who know how to win, but aren't afraid to fail. Be part of an elite network with those who know what success is all about. Be brave enough to have a fulfilled life. Trinity University. Discover, grow,
Food insecurity
become.
or the inability to get food is a widespread and misunderstood problem.
At Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, Autumn and I are part of a research team in the Food Matters Lab.
Being able to connect with the community and affect policy as an undergraduate researcher at Trinity has been an unforgettable experience.
Being first-generation college students, the ability to research has given us the ability to explore our individual passions and apply them not only to this research, but life after college.